What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40K. In this one, we're going to be talking about two of the more important Primarchs in today's current era, the Lion, Lionel Johnson, and Guilliman. These two were the first Primarchs to come out for the Loyalist side, and they have a lot on their plate when it comes to saving and keeping the Imperium afloat. Guilliman came out and he sees that chaos is at their doorstep. He sees that the Imperium is fractured and it is nothing that the Emperor wanted it to be. On the other hand, we have the Lion awakening from his slumber. He's now a little bit weaker because he's aged throughout these years, and on top of that, he sees that his sons, the Dark Angels, are fractured and are fighting a losing war against chaos. But he is now going across the galaxy, reclaiming his lost sons and strengthening his chapter, and hopefully we get to see these two Primarchs meet sooner than later. It is a long time coming, because if we go back all the way to the 30K era, in the novel Unremembered Empire, Guilliman and the Lion actually met and talked face to face. So let's go ahead and see what they talked about in the past to see if maybe they can give us some clues as to what they could talk about in the future. So without further ado, let's dive right in. "I believe in the Imperium," said Guilliman, "in the continuity of the Imperium, that it will endure, that it must endure, that we must make it endure." "Without a doubt," replied the Lion, "but this is a universe of uncertainty. We know the names of many of our traitor enemies, but not all." "No, I am certain there is more treachery to be revealed." The Lion looked at the draped banner of the 5th Legion. "The White Scars?" asked Guilliman. "You suspect them too?" "The Khan is a mercurial figure. Who of us can say we know him or trust him? His nature is rebellious, and he keeps himself much apart from us. Only one brother stands close to him, and that is Lupercal. The Khan always had great affinity with Horus. And on this basis, tell me your theoretical simulations have not suggested this." Guilliman was silent. "And don't pretend you have run on multiple theatrical simulations on all of us, Roboot," the Lion sneered. "I won't," replied Guilliman, "but you are quite correct. The projections concerning the Khan were troubling, but neither of us have heard a single whisper that he has turned." "We have not," the Lion agreed, "but until I arrived out here out of this warp storm, I had not seen confirmation of Magnus's treachery as well. That was data you could impart on me, data that you had only just come up on. We knew they had ignored the edict, and that Russ's hounds had been unslipped to chastise Magnus, but neither of us knew the grim outcome. The fate of Prospero, the full disgrace of the 15th. This is a universe of uncertainties. What else do we not know?" Guilliman paused. Then he turned to look the Lion in the eye. "You have made it plain that I am one of your uncertainties," he said. "Brother." "You mistrust me and my motives," said Guilliman. "You have told me so clearly. You suspect me of a treason at least as great as Horus's, if not deeper." The Lion sat in the seat marked with his Legion's banner and placed his armored hands flat upon the table in front of him. "Imperium Secundus," the Lion said, staring down at his mailed hands. "You do not deny it. You are establishing a second Imperium on the corpse of the first." "No," replied Guilliman. No, I am trying to keep the flame alive. This is not about empire building or thrusting for the main prize. I have an empire already, Ultramar, 500 worlds. Brother, I do this only so that we may persist. Terra may have fallen, and our father may already be dead. Whatever the facts, the rune storm prevents us from knowing the truth. I am not using this crisis as an opportunity to usurp. I am not Lupercal." The Lion looked up and held Guilliman's stare. "I am simply keeping the flame alive," said Guilliman. "If we need another capital world, another figurehead, then let us have one. If it keeps our father's vision of the Imperium alive, if Terra burns, then Macragge lives. The Imperium endures. Do you know the real difference between me and Horus? Tell me." "I don't want to be Emperor," Guilliman said. The Lion didn't reply. "Help me do this, brother," said Guilliman. "Help me keep what is left together. Help me preserve the human intent. Don't make argument with me and misinterpret my motives." "I want to trust you, Roboot," the lion replied, "but I have always been wary of your ambition." Guilliman sighed and shook his head. "I cannot be more open with you. It is ironic. For with respect, my dear brother, you come here full of doubts, and yet you always have been one of the most opaque among us. You are a man of secrets, or at least silent privacy. No one knows your mind or fully appreciates your intent, not even our father. And yet, you come here doubting me?" A tiny tremor of irritation crossed the lion's noble face. "Hard words," he said. "But are they true?" Guilliman replied. "And perhaps I should have spoken them before now, long before. I do not doubt your loyalty or your prowess, but you and your dark angels are secretive beings. Caliban is a world of mystery. I am wounded that you come to me with distrust when no one knows you well enough to know your heart." "You had never spoken this way before," said L. Johnson. "There has never been a time before," replied Guilliman. "The universe has never closed in so tightly around us to squeeze these words out. I will be plain. I have never had the courage before. I have always been too in awe of the noble Lord of the First." "The master of the 500 worlds and all of me?" laughed the lion. "You know it. You know we all were. When Horus was named War Master, he did not much care that he had succeeded above me, or Rogel, or Ferris. What he truly savored was being chosen over you." Guilliman felt a curious wash of relief at having spoken so candidly. He saw, though he wondered if it was his imagination, that the lion seemed uncomfortable when confronted by such openness. "Your Imperium, then," said the lion. "This Imperium Secundus, this great scheme of survival. How do you intend to proceed? Do you intend to declare yourself regent?" "I do not," Guilliman replied. "I will not found an empire and then crown myself. Such arrogance would confirm every doubt and suspicion lurking in the minds of men like you. I need a figurehead for the public to rally around, while I fight to keep the mechanisms of the Imperium turning over and protected." "But," the lion began, he looked pointedly at the great central seat, draped within its Terran standard. "Then who? Surely it must be blood." "Agreed," said Guilliman. "It most certainly must be a Primarch." "My dear Roboot," said the lion, "there are only two of us here. So what exactly are you proposing?" And with that being said, that is the end of the excerpt from Unremembered Empire. So from here, we can kind of infer that once these two Primarchs meet, perhaps they will also want to rebuild the Imperium into a better form of what it currently is. And Guilliman has already been doing that since his reintroduction into the 40K universe. He's been working with the High Lords of Terra to kind of push his crusade into action and save all these Imperial worlds that are besieged. However, all he's doing is just that, being a warlord, being a tactician. He doesn't actually have time to rule over and improve the lives, the status, the overall Imperium. It's just constant fighting. But I feel with the lion here, he can give the lion what he wants, and that's revenge. That is a means to attack against chaos, and maybe the lion would take over as the war master, so to speak, in the sense as to be the fighting force of the Imperium, while Guilliman takes a step back and tries to rebuild and make the Imperium a better place, closer to that of what the Emperor wanted. So hopefully that's what we get, but at the same time, that feels a little bit too hopeful in this grim darkness of 40K, so there might be some shifting alliances, or I don't know, something that's going to shake up the overall status quo when these two Primarchs meet. But at the same time, we kind of don't have time for that because they are heavily outnumbered right now. There are currently 4 demon Primarchs that are out and about, and we only have 2 loyalist Primarchs. So maybe we'll see the introduction of yet another loyalist pretty soon, and then we have a 3-way deadlock between 3 loyalist Primarchs to see who and how they improve the Imperium. But that's all I got for today, guys. So let me know your thoughts down below. How do you think the meeting between the lion and Guilliman will go when they finally meet up in a future novel. Please let me know down below. And also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more things Warhammer 40K. Thanks again. This has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.